friends, I hope you're doing well and welcome back to another video. This buckwheat tea that I just brewed is so heartwarming and delicious. It feels very nutty and aromatic, but I am really excited for today's video because we are going to be doing a bit of a book haul and unboxing. Just behind me over here I have, let's see, I think I've got 6 brand new books to unbox with you guys. I've been waiting very patiently for the last couple of days for one last book to arrive this morning, and so I can finally share it all with you guys. But without further ado, let's get straight into the unboxing. This one is the very first one to open up together. I know it's from Vinted because it's a second-hand book that I ordered online. Hopefully it's in okay condition. Let's open it up. So this very first book is in actually really good condition. I'm very pleased with it, but it's The Silent Patient. Now, if you guys have been watching me for a while, you'll know that I don't really tend to gravitate towards thrillers. So the reason why I purchased The Silent Patient was because it's actually the November book club pick for the book club I have with my friends. This wasn't the book that I voted for November, but it does sound really interesting. So essentially you follow a woman called Alicia who lives in this really wonderful grand house in London. Now, Alicia is a very famous painter, but she also happens to be married to a very in-demand fashion photographer, and one day when her husband comes home she ends up shooting him in the face 5 times. From this point onwards, Alicia becomes silent in that she refuses to talk about what happened to anyone, and so the mystery surrounding the event and the tragedy grows. Interestingly, because of the event and the intrigue growing around her, her artwork skyrockets in price and in fame, and I believe that the book really starts with Theo, who is a criminal psychotherapist, and he's been waiting a very long time to talk to Alicia, so it sort of unfolds from that point onwards. Now, psychological thrillers is really not a genre that I would normally go for, so it's really pushing me outside of my comfort zone, but I hope I will enjoy it. I do think that's one of the best things about being in a book club, where the members all have different preferred genres though, because I feel like it really encourages you to broaden your literary horizon. So hopefully I like this one. And now it's time to open the very next package. This is the one that just arrived this morning, so I know what's inside it and I'm really looking forward to opening it up. It's so beautiful. This is Falling Like Leaves by Misty Wilson. I did order a brand new copy from Blackwell's, but it's a little bit warped, as if it's almost been exposed to a bit of dampness or water, so I might have to check up with the customer service team on that. But Falling Like Leaves is actually a book that I finished recently, and I really loved the story, and I might have mentioned this elsewhere, I can't quite remember, but I really loved the US cover of this book, so I managed to find it on Blackwell's and I'm really happy that I have it. This book is a YA contemporary romance and is perfect for the autumn-fall season because you follow a girl called Alice who lives in Manhattan until her parents are getting separated, and so she ends up having to follow her mum back to her mum's hometown, which is in Bramble Falls. Now at Bramble Falls they have this month-long tourist season essentially celebrating everything to do with autumn, and Alice wants nothing to do with it, but her aunt happens to be the mayor of Bramble Falls, so she ends up getting roped into all the different activities, and unfortunately for Alice, on top of that, she ends up constantly bumping into Cooper, who was her one-time best friend. So it's a childhood friends trope, it's a second chance romance trope, and I know not everybody loves that, but I thought that it was really adorable to read about in this particular novel. It's definitely written for a YA audience, so it's not the most complex in terms of the way it's written, but it's very swoon-worthy, it's very Hallmark movie-esque, and I really enjoyed it. Now from this point onwards I have a couple of books ordered from Waterstones, but the packaging is all identical, so it's a little bit of a surprise. I don't really know what's inside here, but the reason why I placed an order from Waterstones in the first place is that they were having a special double plus stamp point event again, and I couldn't resist. I was like, I might as well purchase now the books that I've been wanting to get for a while, so I'm really excited to see what's inside this one. Okay, so I had 2 novels in that package and 2 that I'm so excited for. The first of these is Cold Clay by Juno Black, and this is the second book in the Shady Hollows mystery series. Oh no, the back of this is like creased, it's folded over. You probably can't tell this on camera, but oh, that's so sad. But I loved Shady Hollow, the first book to the Shady Hollow murder mystery series, so much that I couldn't help but purchase book 2. In book 2, you also follow Vera Vixen, our beloved fox detective, as she tries to figure out another mystery. Unfortunately for the residents of Shady Hollow, another dead body has turned up on their doorsteps, and all the signs are pointing surprisingly to the coffee shop owner Joe the Moose, and this is really shocking because he's like the most gentle guy. So Vera has to get down to the bottom of things and see if Joe really is the murderer. I love the small town vibes that Shady Hollow brought, and I loved all the different anthropomorphic characters. I believe this one takes place during like a harvest festival season, and Shady Hollow is getting ready to celebrate all things autumn. Oh, the sun setting, but it's really glaring in my face. Okay, there we go, that's a bit better. But anyway, what was I saying about Cold Clay? I think I was in the middle of saying that I'm a real scaredy cat, so reading a cozy murder mystery is like the best form of murder mysteries for me. It's really comforting and wholesome, and most importantly, my heart doesn't race like crazy as I'm reading it. This very next book is a book that I've been wanting to purchase ever since I first found out about it online, and it's called The Wizard's Bakery by Kru Byung-mo. This book is a Korean magical realism book translated from the Korean by Jamie Chang, and I can't believe I finally have this in my hands. Maybe because this book isn't as well known as some other Korean magical realism books out there now, this book was really impossible to find in any bookshop, so I did have to purchase it online. But in this book there is a bakery in the middle of a very quiet neighborhood in Seoul, and this bakery happens to be open for 24 hours a day, and they sell pastries and different baked goods. But for one runaway teenager in particular, this bakery becomes a bit of a safe haven for him until he realizes one day that the pastries actually hold magic. So for instance, madeleines can help heal broken hearts, while cinnamon cookies are for your worst enemies. Now the cost is that for every bite taken out of these magical pastries, there is a real consequence because the order of the world is impacted by it. I believe that there is a gruff wizard and that there's a blue-haired assistant that this boy comes to become acquainted with, and I'm just really excited to read this. I feel like it's going to be a wonderful cozy book, and I hope I love it. Time for the very next book. This is another Waterstones package. I wonder if there's only 1 or 2 books in here. Oh my gosh. So this is Water Moon by Samantha Soto Yambao, and I have been so eagerly anticipating this book ever since it first came out, maybe last year now. I feel like this is going to be a book that I adore, and I have such high expectations for it. But I was intrigued because it's been sort of marketed as a perfect book for Studio Ghibli fan lovers. But Water Moon is all about this pawn shop that is on a street in Tokyo, and most people can't find it because on the outside it just looks like a really cozy ramen shop. Now at the start of this book you follow Hannah, who is the new owner of the pawn shop, but on her first morning she realizes that not only are the most precious acquisitions stolen, but her father is also missing. And then in comes this stranger who, instead of seeking help, actually offers help, which is a very unusual thing to happen at this shop. So the two end up going on a bit of a magical adventure, and I believe that it's really Studio Ghibli coded. I think there's like a market in the clouds, and also the characters often have to like jump through rainy puddles, and that just sounds so dreamy and gorgeous to me. I can't wait. I feel like this is going to be hopefully a new favourite of mine. Also, at the start of the video, I think I said that I had 6 new books to share with you guys, but I think I said that because there were 6 different packages, so maybe there are more books. I can't even remember. Anyways, let's open the final Waterstones package, and then I have one more Amazon package to open up. Oh no! Oh, I was really excited, but this one's completely warped. again, I don't think you can tell how warped this book is. It's very odd. I don't think you can tell on camera. Anyways, this book is The Golden Enclaves and it's by Naomi Novik. It's the third book in the Scholomance trilogy. I feel like it's quite rare for me to actually reach the final book of a series because more often than not I get distracted with other books. So if I've somehow managed to reach the final book of a series, you know that it's one that I've been really hooked by. But the reason why I love the Scholomance series is because it's not only set in a magical school, but the school is really different from any other schools that I've read about. The Scholomance is a very deadly environment and students are dying left, right and centre. In the very first book you follow Elle, who is a bit of an outcast and she's ostracized from the rest of her classmates, but she ends up finding a group of unlikely friends, including a boy called Orion, who is technically loved by everybody else in the school because he has this incredible power to kill all the monsters, hence why he's a bit of the golden boy at the Scholomance. So in books 1 and 2 you sort of follow the two of them as they progress on through their education and kill monsters and survive different attacks. However, book 2 finished on one of the biggest cliffhangers that I've ever read. That cliffhanger is absolutely nuts. I mean, it's just, yeah, you can't not read book 3 after knowing how book 2 ends. But I'm very eager to dive into this world for one last time and hopefully it ends on a really high note. I've opened up the curtains again because I feel like it was getting very dark in here. But we are on to the final package. I do actually know which 2 books are waiting for me inside this package because I still remember what I ordered. Oh, why are all my books coming like tattered and destroyed? But I'm so happy that I can finally add these to my bookshelves because it is Divine Rivals and also Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. But I read Divine Rivals when it first came out and I adored it, but I didn't end up picking up Ruthless Vows, and I feel like it's because in the time that I was waiting for Ruthless Vows to come out, I ended up being a bit distracted with other new releases and other books that were already on my TBR, so I never got round to Ruthless Vows. In this world, there is a war going on between the different gods, and Iris is hoping that she'll be able to make a difference for her family through her writing. So she's really hoping that she'll get the position at the Oath Gazette as a columnist, but then she finds a typewriter and her brother is missing on the front line, so she decides to try and write some letters and send them to him, except that her letters end up falling into the wrong hands of Roman, who is her rival at the paper. I remember giving this book 5 stars and it made me really emotional the whole time I was reading it, and those of you who have watched my recent videos will know that I recently purchased Wild Reference as well, but because Wild Reference is set in the same world as Divine Rivals, albeit you follow different characters, I thought that it would be a good time to finally perhaps reread Divine Rivals and then get on to Ruthless Vows. But those are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books that I managed to buy recently. A lot of it is fantasy because I feel like with the weather getting colder, I'm in a real fantasy mood. I'd be really interested in hearing your thoughts on any of these books if you've read any of them already, and do let me know what your most recent book purchase was or your most recent library book. Thank you so much all for watching and I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Bye friends!